Hello dear students, my name is Abdurahimova Ноила. I'm an English teacher at National University of Uzbekistan. I'm going to give you a lecture on English grammar, specifically the present perfect continuous tense. And in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to form a present perfect continuous and when to use a present perfect continuous tense. The present perfect continuous tense, also called present perfect progressive, is a verb tense which is used to show that an action started in the past and has continued up to the present moment. The present perfect continuous usually emphasizes duration or the amount of time that an action has been taking place. But before we get started, it's good to know how to conjugate the verb to have for singular form: I have, you have, he has, she has, it has, and for plural forms we have, you have, and they have. So now let's begin and take a look at the structure of a present perfect continuous. It is formed by using the auxiliary verb to have, the past participle of the verb to be, which is been, and the base form of the verb, and ing. For example, I have been working all afternoon. You have been listening to the radio for past hours. He has been sweeping the floor all afternoon. She has been spending a lot of money lately. And for plural forms, we have been playing computer games all night. We have been searching for a supermarket. They have been watching the news all afternoon. And in questions, we put the auxiliary verb to have in the beginning of the sentence, before the subject. For example, has she been talking about him? Have you been playing tennis? And now we need to pay a special attention on verbs that end in an E. For example, live, make, close, and wipe. These verbs drop their E. Let's see the examples. I have been living here for quite some time now. He has been making a lot of noise lately. They have been wiping the floor for over an hour. Please note that the words living, making, and wiping have no longer an E. And for negations we do the same, but we add not to the auxiliary verb to have, becoming haven't or hasn't. So let's take a look at the examples. I haven't been listening to the news. She hasn't been waiting for over an hour. They haven't been paying attention. Now let's talk about when we use the present perfect continuous. We use it for activities that started in the past but have continued in the present. For example, I have been traveling for a few years. So I started traveling a few years ago and I'm still traveling. So another example, they have been working as a chauffeur. So it means in the past they start to work as a chauffeur and they still are a chauffeurs. We also use the present perfect continuous for things that happened in the past, but it is not important when they happened. So we do not need to know the time when they took place. She has been visiting her aunt a lot. They have been repairing that car. So both of these sentences lack time. We also use the present perfect continuous for things that are annoying. For example, I have been doing your laundry all afternoon. They have been playing loud music all night long. When it comes to signal words, there are no specific signal words for present perfect continuous. However, there are some phrases or words such as all day, the whole day, since, and for that can help us to identify the present perfect continuous. And it's important to remember that the present perfect continuous has the meaning of lately or recently. So if you use the present perfect continuous in a question such as, have you been feeling well? It can suggest that the person looks sick or unhealthy. Or a question such as, have you been smoking? Can suggest that you smell the smoke of on the person. Using this tense in a question suggests you can see, smell, hear, or feel the results of the action. So it is possible to insult someone by using this tense incorrectly. Also, remember that non-continuous verbs such as to want, to need, to like, to love cannot be used in any continuous tenses. Also, certain non-continuous meanings for mixed verbs cannot be used in a continuous tenses. Instead of using present perfect continuous with these verbs, you must use present perfect tense. So for example, instead of saying Sam has been having his car for 2 years, we should say Sam has had his car for 2 years. And this is the end of my video lesson. I hope you find it useful. Thank you for your attention.